Welcome back, everybody. This is the Bitcoin Technician, and we have a story time today. This story comes down to one question. Do you own your money? Spoiler, you don't. So when you take your money to a bank and you deposit it, the bank puts it in your account. But that's not where it stops. The bank literally takes your money and then loans it out for interest. And they don't have to keep any of that at the bank. Called fractional reserve banking. Most Bitcoiners know about it. Regular people don't. They just think you have your money and it sits at that bank at all times. Well, I ran into that exact scenario. Well, a little different. Just a different flavor of the same bowl. I didn't run into fractional reserve banking problems, but I ran into more bureaucracy banking problems, which is still the same thing, where they won't allow you access to your money because it's their money. So this will be the story of my year-and-a-half nightmare dealing with the banking system. So, in a nutshell, I had been banking at my credit union since I was 16 years old. But, like most credit unions, the interest rates are terrible. They like 0.015. So I started looking for a high yield savings account like most people suggest. So I went through all the big banks, 4%, 5%, 4.5%. So I just picked an online because I thought that'd be the easiest one. It's one of the biggest. If you want to look them up, they're top five in banking ish. But, I figured pick a big one, you'll be safe. So when I chose them, I took my life savings of $21,000. I know it's a lot to some, tiny the most. And I did in a couple transfers, I transferred them into my new account. Sounds good. Easy peasy, right? And it was. Like they took the money in, 10, 20 minutes. Not a problem. A week went by, and my uncle, we'll just say, decided that he needed to sell his truck and he needed it bad. No problem. I needed a truck, so he gave me a good deal. I went to withdraw my 20. I was just going to take 20,000 out, leave 1,000 in there to keep the account open. And instantly my account was frozen. So instead of fighting with the bank, trying to get my money right away, I had enough in the credit union to scrounge enough to buy the pickup truck. So after the initial account being frozen, I didn't think anything of it. I didn't fight it. I could get into the app, not a big deal. It was collecting interest. So I just let it sit there for a while. And eventually the app decided to stop working. It told me that my account was frozen, which I knew, and to call in. So I was like, all right, I'll deal with it now. I mean, it's been, at that time, it'd probably been 6 months, almost to a year. So I was like, oh, I finally have to deal with it. So I did. I called in and I got some lady I couldn't understand in some accent I didn't know, which is not a big deal. We struggled through the, you know, getting things figured out. She's like, the account was frozen for suspicious transactions. I was like, well, I withdrew the money that like it's from the account that deposited the 20 grand originally, tried to withdraw the account, and now that was suspicious. She's like, yeah, it's just an automatic system. It flags it, not a big deal. I was like, we'll just call your credit card or your credit union bank. It's like, sure, let's do that. While we waited on for 20 some minutes, not a big deal to me, but she must have gotten frustrated, said they never answered the phone, and then she's like, okay, send us in a statement with, that day with the transaction, to prove that you deposited the 20 grand into the account. I'm like, okay, that's weird. But so I did. I sent them in the statement and never heard from them again. Now, this is where it gets frustrating. I call back a week later. I get a different lady, of course. She's like, that account got closed. I'm like, great. What? I'm not fighting with you guys. Send me my money back, right? Not a big deal. Oh, we can do that. We'll just send it back to the original account. It'll be 5 to 7 business days. Like, okay, great. Send it back. They're like, we'll give you a call when it's all done. It's like, great, awesome. Waited 2.5 weeks, no phone call. Call back in, get a different lady. Hey, this account's been closed. I was like, I know it's been closed. I was like, we'll send you a check. I was like, that's fine. Send me a check. 5 to 8 business days, you'll have your check. Never showed up. Waited a month for that check. And no, it never came. So I called back in a month later. So it's a time frame. It's been a year since the account's been frozen. 2 months now since I've been trying to retrieve the funds. And I call back and they're like, you received the check. We know you received the check. I was like, no, I never received any check. Where did you send it to? And then they babbled off my address. It's like, well, it never came. Like, do you have a tracking number? No, we don't track that. It's like, well, can you send another check? No, you have to fight it with the fraud department because our system says you have the check. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I transferred to another department and wait there another 20 minutes waiting for another lady. And she's like, oh, we'll send you overnight papers for you to dispute this charge. I'm like, okay, that's great. That's fine. I finally get, they send it first class mail when it's in legal papers, but they can't send a check UPS, right? So I receive it the next day or two later. I sign it, I send it back. It gets there that Monday. I call them. I call them that Wednesday, and I was like, hey, did you receive the paperwork? Oh yeah, we received it. We're just processing it now. I'm like, okay, no big. We'll give you a call when it's processed. I was like, great, no problem. I receive a mail or like a letter from them saying the account that I had won the dispute, which is great, right? Not a big deal there. But they were going to refund it to the account. I was like, when I read that, I was like, how are you going to refund to the account when the account was closed? It's no longer there. Did you reopen a different account to stick the money back in? I just thought it was weird. Either way, I got a phone call, I think the next Monday or so. The following Monday, I get this call from this Indian British lady, like from London or something. And I was like, oh, this is weird. Because most of the time you deal with like a call center from the Philippines. That's who I've been dealing with lately. Or I got transferred to a call center in Utah, like with people from Utah. So I was very confused why I was dealing with this lady with this very proper posh accent, which is awesome. I was like, she just said, oh, we've been reviewing your account and we've noticed all these discretions and I'm here to help you. I'm like, great, perfect. And this is when we got to this point, great, because she was super nice. She stayed on the line. I got transferred 4 times, I bet, during the process of retrieving my funds. But she stayed there the whole time and helped me deal with all the other employees. So they sent me to reclose the account that was already closed twice now. So they closed it, and then they transferred me back to the department that has to specialize in calling the other banks. So they did that, and they called my credit union. And it's funny because I'm from Minnesota, obviously, if you guys can't tell from my accent. They call some little old lady in Minnesota, and they all have different accents. And the little old lady from my bank here is like, "Oh, is this a scam?" I was like, "No, it's not a scam. Like, I just need you to answer these questions for these people so they can unfreeze my funds." And they did. So we got through that, and they finally switched me to one more department, and they were gonna arch transfer back my funds into the original credit union account. And they said 1 to 2 business days. I was like, great, awesome. This this closed in May or June of this year, and it had been locked not last Christmas, but the Christmas before. So it took 1.5 years for me to retrieve my $21,000. The funds didn't even sit in my credit union account for more than a couple weeks before I bought all my Bitcoin and just threw it into my self storage. I I won't deal with another bank again. I have my little credit union account that has a few $1,000s for my expenses, and that's how I receive my check. Otherwise, I'm the banking system's it's foobarred. You don't own your money. You'll never own your money. They can do what they want with it. They'll lend it out at 7%, give you 0.015%. It's fractional reserve banking is broken, and they can print money out of nothing. If you want to save your currency with any stopping power, you have to save it in BTC and self custody it. Don't let them. I mean, you're just if you keep them on the exchange, you just treat they're just the new bank at that point without FDIC insurance. Like they go down, it's gone. Like the people at FTX got lucky. Like my brother had money in FTX, and after them filing bankruptcy, and he waited what was that 2022? I think he got his funds back this year, like 3 years later. No. Um, that's my story about fractional reserve banking and the banking system. Hopefully, it can be a warning for you guys not to ever trust the banks with large quantities of money, because large quantities of money, they just want the interest. That whole process from the London lady took less than a half an hour, and I had my money back in a day. But they wanted to keep that $21,000, run interest through it, lend it out, run interest through it, and they gave me the runaround for a year and a half. Like, it's just not worth it. With all that being said, I want to shout out Jerry Loves Freedom. He's been super great to the channel. He shouted out me in the stream several times now. He links my channel all the time. So I'm going to have his link in the description. I'm going to have a bunch of the other guys' links in the description. You can check out the Freedom family down there. And if you made it this far, can you leave a like and subscribe on the channel? It seems to do the whole YouTube thing. It seems to help the algorithm. That being said, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.